So Bowler has been trending like crazy again at the top of ladder, and I saw it being played in this Goblin Giant Skeleton deck, so I decided to play it today on Path of Legends. And of course, Beatdown, like I mentioned several times, is really good against the Dagger Duchess that it seems like so many people at the top of ladder are playing. And as we speak, we're playing against it right now. So we got the Evolve Bomber in the deck and the Evo Zap, two really solid evolutions. And this guy's got the Evolve Bomber as well. So I'm going to get my Zap cycled on top of it so we can get to the Evo Zap quicker. And then he's also going to have the Evolve Knight. So we'll see what he's got here. But yeah, a lot of people are also still playing the Drill, which is something Bowler's really good against. And then I just find it to be very useful against beatdown decks too, because when the beatdown push is coming in and there's a lot of units behind, say, maybe the Golem, the Electro Giant, the Giant, whatever it is, the Bowler's going to hit both of those units at once. And also because it's got a lot of health, like I mentioned, beatdown in general is really good against the Duchess. The Bowler's going to be pretty good against her too, because he's very tanky. So we're going to get a Giant Skeleton going on top of the Little Prince. We got a little bit of a counter push coming in here, but it should be pretty easily defended. At least he kind of had to overcommit a little bit, because he went for a Knight, a Tombstone, and he also wasted his Evolve Bomber, so now he's not going to have it available on offense, which is really good. I'm not going to have to worry about that, because you guys know how annoying that is when it gets played at the bridge, just dealing a ton of damage. It is just really obnoxious for only, 2 elixir. So he's going to go for a Baby Dragon. I'm going to get my minions cycled here, and then I'm going to go in for a Goblin Giant, get a tank going for everything, and he is going to poison the minions, so he does overcommit on that, but I guess it was still a pretty good poison because now the Baby Dragon ended up staying alive, so that was pretty well played on his end, I have to say, and it's looking, yeah, like it's going to be a graveyard for sure. So we see how this goes. I do think the Duchess is pretty good against the graveyard, so I'm not super worried, I guess. I'm just going to cycle my Zap, actually, just so I have the Evolve one ready to go as quick as possible. I think that's good to do, especially with something like Evo Zap that's only 2 elixir. You might as well be cycling the Zap whenever you can. I'm going to Lightning this. I think it's fairly good value. Baby Dragon, Tower, and Bomber. I mean, that's pretty much 6 elixir worth of units, because the Baby Dragon does pretty much die to the Lightning, so I would consider that an even trade right there. And I'm going to go in for a Goblin Giant here, because that Little Prince is going into the opposite lane, which I think is pretty good. And I'm actually going to, we're going to get a Zap going on the Tombstone and the Evo Bomber, and that was a lot of value, because now the Goblin Giant is coming in hot here. He doesn't have a lot right now to take this out. In fact, I was thinking about going Lightning on that, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's just Giant Skeleton in the back. I think that's slightly safer to do. But I actually could have gone for a Lightning there. Maybe I should have. It's okay, though. So he's going to go for the Little Prince. I'm actually going to Lightning that. I feel like it's a good play, just because it was pretty annoying, and he might have been able to protect it and just keep it alive for a really long time. And I didn't want to really risk it. So let's just go in here, see what we can do. Okay, the Giant Skelly Bomb isn't going to help out a whole awful lot, but this is the thing. This deck we're running is so defensive. Not only is it good on offense, because you got a lot of tools to get damage. I mean, you got the Goblin Giant, you got the Evo Bomber, and you just got a lot. But then defensively, it's so good too, because he hasn't even been able to go in for a graveyard yet. I mean, that kind of tells you everything you need to know. And I haven't even used my Evolve Bomber yet, because I haven't had a single opportunity to. And look at that. Goblin Giant going right towards the tower. He had to waste a NATO just to make sure that that didn't happen, so he overcommitted a ton there. I'm honestly fine that I didn't, win the game right then and there. Bowler lined up on the tower. That's what I'm talking about. Wait, Evo Bomber? Is that lined up? Did I get it? Oh, man, I screwed it up. That was a little embarrassing. I don't even think it was that hard to hit, but I still missed it anyway. Either way, we're going to get a Lightning down, and there's no way we're going to throw, right? Okay, I was worried he would Lightning block, but he didn't, thankfully. Okay, we're in our next game here against Alice, and this is so random. I'm only bringing this up because when I was streaming and my hair was super messy, a bunch of people were talking about, like, oh, how it looks better. I don't know if people were joking, if it looks better than when I normally have it on the side. But anyway, the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because I decided the next time I get a haircut, I'm probably going to get a low taper fade. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it for the memes just because it's kind of the new trendy haircut, and some people were telling me I should get a low taper fade. That's the hairstyle that'll look best. And I was like, you know what? Why not? Screw it. Let's try it out. So if you guys see me with a low taper fade, then that's why. So, let's see what happens. I don't know how it's going to look. Anyway, that was super random. So, this guy's running Graveyard. Let's just go for a Zap here. And yeah, I mean, that did a lot of damage, but we might be able to get a good counter push because we literally got the Giant Skelly, the Bowler. I forgot if I talked about the Giant Skelly. I feel like Giant Skelly made a massive comeback in the meta too, alongside of the Bowler, because the fact that the Giant Skelly's a tank too, it does good against the Duchess, and the Giant Skeleton, if you guys remember, recently got a health buff too. So, I forgot if I talked about that at all this video, but anyway. So, ooh, it's a pretty much, yeah, even Steven game right now. He just went for a poison on the Lil P. That's a negative trade, obviously, so I'm cool with that. And he's going to go Knight. Maybe we get a lineup going with the Evo Bomber. That would be pretty cool if we can make that happen, because that'll be a lot of free chip damage, obviously. So let's go ahead and do that, see what he wants to do. And that is indeed going to be lined up. It actually forces a Bowler out of him, which is pretty brutal. He had to spend 5 Elixir just to counter a 2 Elixir card. That's pretty rough. So he's going to go Ice Wizard, and we have a pretty sizable lead at this point. And yeah, you guys saw in the last game, the Graveyard player has a pretty hard time getting Graveyard damage. He decides to go in, but I don't know. I feel like that wasn't the best play, even though, yeah, he's getting some chip damage. That was a lot of Elixir he just spent. Now, this is interesting, right? Because it's a way different Graveyard variant than I just played against the game before. I mean, this guy's got the Evolved Tesla instead of the Tombstone. So I feel like, I don't know, it's a bit different. I actually don't know if it makes it better or worse, because, I mean, it means our Lightning's getting more value, but at the same time, well, I actually don't even know, because he could play a high-up Tesla that's anti-Lightning position. Well, he didn't do it right there, but I Lightninged other stuff anyway. We're going to go in, see what he's going to do defensively here. We got our Evolve Bomber ready to go if he decides to give us value. I don't know if he's going to do something, though. Let's just go in for a Zap here. And, ooh, what are we going to... that kind of... Okay, I mean, that could have been worse, I guess, but I was kind of hoping to get some more damage than that, but that's alright. So, let's just do this, and let's see. Yeah, that was kind of bad on my end. That was, I'm not a huge fan of that defense, actually. That could have been a lot better. Wait, that's really good. Look at that. He let that lock on the tower, and then I had the Evo Zap, so we were able to get more damage than he probably ever would have imagined. Now all we got to do is wait. Oh, that's it. One of them locked on the tower. That's all we needed. GG. All right, we'll just cycle an Evo Zap here, or excuse me, a regular Zap. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Jeez, mixing up the regular Zap and the Evo Zap. We're gonna go Bowler here, same lane as the Skeleton King. And Bats Skelly King. Well, I don't know. Could be some kind of baity deck, potentially. Yep, Golem. Okay, so we'll see how this does against other beatdown decks. Should do very well. Giant Skeleton and Bowler. I feel like that's really all you need when defending a Golem push. Now, the Bowler's in the other lane, unfortunately, so we're going to have to make do with the Giant Skelly, which is pretty effective at killing what's behind the Golem. Don't get me wrong. We might want to actually zap this, though, just to keep the Giant Skelly alive just a wee bit longer. So then that way, the bomb is going to be able to finish off everything, and pretty much everything died already anyway before the bomb activated, except those bats. So, alright, we took a lot of damage. Part of that was because I didn't have the Bowler helping out, so that's kind of a bit of a bummer. Wow, he's going to pump up. That's kind of bold, I have to say. That's kind of a risky play, because if he doesn't have the proper response here, he's in a little bit of a pickle, I'd say. We're going to get a Lightning going on the Skelly King, and I mean, wow, that actually, we dealt like hardly any damage to the tower. That was actually really underwhelming. I was about to just say like, oh yeah, I was about to get ready to say like, oh yeah, we did, you know, decent amount of damage on the counter push, but no, somehow, some way, it hardly did jack squat. That was just, I don't know, that was a bit pathetic. But he kind of just decided to Golem in the back, not really thinking ahead of us punishing him. So just like that, we took his tower and killed the Night Witch. So, you know, this Clash is a weird game sometimes. It just goes back and forth like this, you know, when you least expect it. Now, if the bowler could help out and take out those Evo Skellies, that would be much appreciated. Thank you very much. So, now it's looking more and more like all we got to do is defend for the remainder of the match. And look at that. He gave us a free lineup with the Evo Bomber. He's allowing us to potentially get the satisfaction of that 2 crown. No, sir, actually, because he has arrows. Which is making me wonder, why didn't he use the arrows on the giant skeleton and the minions that I had in the right lane? I don't really understand that. Okay, let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. I need to defend this. Wait, please? Please? Oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me. No way. That's so lame. Come on, please don't tell me I threw this game. No, we're fine. I wasn't worried for a second. Make sure to like and subscribe.